Hello, buddy. How are you doing? Today is Thursday, the 3rd of March, 2022. And to be honest, I'm like doing everything super fast because I haven't been able to record for 3 days, I believe. Last night, I was going to record and I set everything, lights and everything else I have to write to record. And guess what? I forgot my camera at the crypto channel office. So, boom, suddenly it's like, oh, perfect, I'm ready. No camera. Where's my camera? It's like, oh, okay. I panicked, but then I remember, okay, it's there. So I couldn't do it, buddy. I'm sorry. But the truth is that, man, it's crazy. It's truly crazy what is happening in the last few days. But first, let me tell you a little bit. No. I'll talk about what has been happening in the last few days in the life of the whole family, not what you have done necessarily, but it's amazing. I've been talking in these videos precisely about that. I have been manifesting a life that is new, something that it's different, and it allows me to be very engaged with you, and while still being able to create abundance, right? So that's what I've been doing, right? Like that's why I created the space. I stopped doing marketing and strategy for crypto projects and that sort of thing. And I really have defended the time and the importance you have in my life, because just to so you know, right? Because you may think when you watch these videos like, well, why, like my father, what does he do? Is he unemployed or what? And the thing is that I was working for a friend of mine, good guy, and I was working with him about this marketing stuff, right? And then at some point we had a chat months after I started collaborating with him, and he told me, everything is good. I mean, like results are great. I'm very happy with what you're doing. But then what he told me, and this is the moment I did lose plenty of respect for him, very much, to be honest, very much. It was a definite moment in the life of our friendship, of our relationship, because he told me that, Chloe, to be like extremely successful, at some point years ago, I decided like that business and work and this kind of stuff was much more important in my life than anything else. So I do have a daughter, but pretty much he told me that he actually decided to care for his business more than to care for his daughter. Actually, he does. I don't know if he has any kind of relationship with his daughter at all whatsoever. And what he was suggesting to me was that I should prime business. I should prime projects and work, rather than you, rather than priming you as the most important thing in my life. And he talked about creating abundance, making money for the sake of your happiness and your well-being. But I found very distasteful that he was actually suggesting in a very clear manner that that work should be first and you a very distant second. So that was pretty much the end of my relationship right there, work-wise, business-wise. So it's not the first time that I've done that for you, because again, it's just I know my priorities very well, and as long as you're fed and clothed and you have a roof on your head, the most important thing I believe a kid needs is a father and a mother as close as possible to him, her. So so then I was in another kind of this kind of marketing stuff, right? And it when you work in crypto and blockchain, it's very absorbing. Like you really work around the clock because the teams are like everywhere in the world. Everyone is working on all different time zones, so you may have an appointment at 9 in the morning, and then at 12 in the middle of the day, and then at 3 p.m., and then at 7, and then at 3 in the morning, and one more at, I don't know, like 5:30 in the morning. And I'm just saying a few because actually it's one of those jobs that you have to be hyper communicated, and you are actually all the time, either most of the time actually aligning. This is the one thing I got tired about listening. We need to align, we need to align, we need to align. And there was so much alignment. And aligning was more important than working. And then reporting of the alignment was more important than work. So it was really like, I just can tell you that there's so much inefficiency in the world. Like what it would have taken me couple of hours, 2-3 hours, it would end up taking me days simply because I had to align with 25 different people. And what I see in a lot of these projects is lack of clarity in the product itself, in the benefits, in the strategy, the market. I mean, there's some good ideas, but there's also a lot of people inside these companies that have no experience with management, with leadership, with the whole creation of a product. One thing is an idea, but a very different thing is an execution. And I find that a lot of these blockchain companies today, 2022, are just lost, completely lost. So then, at some point I also was like, what? I'm so stressed. I barely sleep. I am physically here, but my mind is elsewhere. Is this what I want for my son? And there was a big no in my heart. So I left. Right? So, okay, gone. So this left us in a kind of an unstable position, obviously, because I have less sources of income than usual, right? So what I've been doing, and I've stated it many times in these videos, is that I have been meditating to truly understand in my heart what is next for me. Like I'm far from believing, I'm too old and too experienced to believe that things can be forced in life. I have spent all my life, or most of my life, trying to shape my life, like trying to bend the wheel of life to my own will. And I've lost every time because I see that no matter how hard I try to avoid something or to get somewhere, the cards were dealt long ago. Meaning, there's one destiny we have. And that we choose ourselves, our higher self, let's say, or your future self somehow. Because, I haven't talked about this, but past, present, future, they're just misconceptions of the human perception of things. So it may, call it however you want. Most people will understand it as destiny, but destiny is kind of the wrong word because it kind of makes you feel like everything, some outside agent has decided or can overpower your will over time. And that's not the case. Destiny is shaped by your spirit, by your soul alone, that knows what is the experience and knowledge and expertise and understanding that it has to develop in this lifetime. So there's no way around it. That's what I found, that no matter how much you bend it, the more you bend it, the more you resist it, the more you try to avoid what is in your heart, what you know is truly going to happen, the worse it will get. I mean, it will be a massive waste of energy. That's what I have found. So for a few years now, and more so since I met your mother and you, man, you know, the last thing in the world I ever thought it was that I was going to meet your mom. The way I met her, I mean, it was just it's just ridiculous that it happened, but it had to. You know, the mere fact that I couldn't have a child before you, and that you know, it made everything else, every other effort, every other thought, every other thing I did in my life regarding children, a complete waste of time and effort, because you had to come from your mom in the way you did at the moment you did. It's just that's the way, right? And I have avoided confronting certain things in my life, as we all have. We all have certain deep fears that we don't want to face, that we just try to avoid, right? That you just want to not look at and ignore, as if they are going to go away, as if you're going to be able to somehow trick the world and trick your destiny. But again, it is your soul itself, the one that has decided long ago, in the past and from the future, where you're heading. So I know it sounds really weird and really crazy, but believe me, this is just how it works. And you will experience it in time, because I'm going to make sure that you get this kind of very difficult stuff over time with certain experiences that you will go through, that I cannot name right now. I cannot list right now. I don't know. But at the right time, they will come, and I will be able to teach you these kind of things and to experience them yourself, so you don't have to believe me or believe a dogma that I tell you. So anyway, the point is that for 3 months, 2-3 months, I accepted the uncertainty of, like leaving certain economic ways, some ways of making money and so on and forth, which has been very good for me, because, you have to let go and you have to believe. Like, you cannot be a man of faith without faith. You cannot be a man that trusts himself to the universe by trying to hold himself to something and to have a net, like a security net and a belt and a parachute and everything we want to have in this day and time, because that's what we're told so to do, right? Like, the responsible person, especially with a kid, you have to be like extra careful about everything, and you have to be as safe as possible and secure everything and play it to the minimum risks, right? So I let go 2 months. It was very difficult at the beginning because I panicked. I was like really stressed, but bit by bit, and through meditation and through being with you a lot, because that is what gives meaning. Like, it's not I don't want to work. No, I work whatever. I can deliver anything at any time with excellent quality. That's not the point. I don't like people making it difficult, but that's a different thing. But the point is that when I'm with you, I'm like, okay, this is the reason why I am with him. Not just to be with him, but not just to be physically with you playing like that's it. No, but to actually be part of your life, enrich every instant of your life, understand you, see you, analyze you, so I can guide you better in life and help you to develop better at every point. Because that's the only thing that really matters, right? Like, yes, I work with really interesting projects. There was a lot of money involved. There's huge projects, whatever, for them, right? And what did I get? Okay, yeah, I deliver really good stuff. Yes, I did. Was it appreciated? Sometimes. It doesn't matter. Money comes. Fuck it if appreciation comes or not. But when it goes to waste, and apart from that, because they're just kind of too dumb to see what they really need, right? Like, when they are screwing up, and you are the one saying, like, guys, we're screwing up, we need something here, we need to change this, and no one listens. But even if I were the best and the most rewarded person ever in the blockchain universe, at the expense of my son, no, I wouldn't do it, and I didn't. So but this is the point, bro, buddy. I'm sorry that it took like 15 minutes to get to this point. But needs context. Everything needs context. After all these manifestations and everything, well, things happened legally here in Thailand that people are not being allowed to extend visas anymore because of a million reasons. But one of them is just because the government is kind of like improvising everything all the time, and they want to look very tough sometimes, and they don't. And it's Banana Republic kind of government. Especially this one is just ridiculously empathetic, to say the least. But it is what it is, right? And they just changed the rules 2 days ago. And mommy, I'm not going to be able to extend the visa of your mom in Thailand. So we have to go out. I mean, ideally, she would go out for a few hours, right? And just change a day and a half maximum, just to any of the neighboring countries, and just to sleep there one night. Ideally, all of us would go, stay one night, or even do some I don't know, be tourists for 2 or 3 days, and just come back and life is normal as usual. But because of this COVID thing and the new rules, now they don't allow anyone without vaccination. That you need to be vaccinated twice to be considered vaccinated. And our policy about vaccinations, just no. So that's one thing. So suddenly the 2 days was like, okay, yeah, we leave to another. Well, first of all the neighboring countries are as stupid as this one. The governments are just a bunch of idiots in all the countries. So we could go elsewhere. Okay, we go to Dubai, or we go to Europe, or we go somewhere, right? That allows traveling without vaccination, that there's quite a few of them. But then again, how do we come back, right? We cannot stay indefinitely just in the middle of nowhere, right? Just waiting for the government to change the policy, right? Or for a miracle to happen. So I started quietly myself considering the possibility of going to Mexico, right? For many different reasons that are really good. Actually, Mexico, thanks to the president we have, is the most progressive country in the world, COVID-wise. That's it. Because this guy, I love him. I love him to pieces. This guy believes and has noticeably governed in such a way. He believes that individual guarantees, like individual liberties, human rights, are the most important thing. That's why he hasn't messed up with any of like idiocy of quarantines or vaccinations or passports or anything, simply because it goes against the human rights and the spirit of the law and the constitution and everything that has been written that suddenly doesn't care, no one cares anymore. I am a lawyer, so I do know a thing of two about this. So I was quietly thinking, we may have to go to Mexico. But there was not a definitory reason to do so. But I was just like, okay, what do I do? What do we do, right? When you are the leader of a family, you really need to have answers. Especially mommy loves asking questions and more and more and more and more and more, to the point it's like, I'm exhausted. I just don't know how to answer more questions. But that's the way she is. And it's good because it helps me to keep defined. To keep as structured as she can, because I'm not a very structured person. But I think I'm getting better day by day. So anyway, so again, I didn't know what to do. I was just, it's not that I'm just waiting for something to fall on my lap. But I also have realized that, again, destiny, when things are meant to happen one way, you are going to have signs. And actually the signs are everywhere all the time, all of them. Everything is a sign, because there is something that is definitely like here, it doesn't have to be like, hey, I'm here. No, it can be like, hey, this way is easier. Okay. If you listen with your heart, you will know. I mean, if it feels your heart feel light when you are saying something, it's very possible that that's the best. If your heart feels like a little bit heavy, when you say something, right? Like if you have two options and you speak both of those options out loud, one of them you will feel light, and the other one you will feel not so light. So and also, if you simply are unable, or there's some resistance in you that doesn't allow you to read the signs at this very moment, all you have to do is wait a little bit. Just not because waiting is going to resolve anything, but because if you allow the passage of some more time, so the best of the situation, or the best situation for you, kind of calls your attention, it will. You just have to be quiet. You just have to not get desperate. You have to just not think too much. You don't allow fear to enter your heart, because otherwise you lose sensitivity, you lose sensation, then you lose the ability to read the signals, right? And that's it. So I just waited, right? It's a very tense situation in a way, because a lot of things hang from such a situation, all these restrictions. So the next day, it was yesterday, Wednesday, I go to record one more episode of the Crypto Channel, right? And suddenly they tell me, hey, we have to go to Spain. And I was like, yeah, we have to go to Spain. We have to cover the Avalanche International Conference. I'm like, really? So I'm like, what the hell? I mean, I have done a lot of unexpected traveling, a lot. Just suddenly someone is like, oh, I need, can you consult us? Can you come with us to do, marketing or blah, 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 or whatever it is. That I've had my good share of unexpected trips. But this was especially unexpected because I've never done such a traveling for anything crypto. And there has been so many opportunities, not for myself, but I mean, there's so many conferences last October or November that things started, or December, when everything started opening again after the pandemic, right? So, and none of them was for me. I mean, I was not invited. There was nothing for me there. And suddenly it's like, hey, we have this. I'm like, okay. And amazingly, the day before, I have checked that one of the countries that have very light requirements to enter is Spain. So I'm like, whoa. And it happened to be that your mom studied her master's and half of her doctorate in Spain. So I was like, whoa, okay. I was considering this country just for a quick visit, but we couldn't stay there for long. I mean, there's not much that we can do there, right? But suddenly I'm like, wait, if we have to go there, I have to be there 10 days. And then flying to Mexico may be cheaper than flying from Thailand to Mexico. And I asked your mommy to check, and yeah. So we are going to Mexico. Can you believe that? I mean, it's just ridiculous because there was no plan whatsoever to go to Mexico at all. Especially even going through Spain to work. And then half of the way from here to Mexico is paid by the channel itself. So I was like, whoa, that's fortunate. And in Mexico, we have no quarantine, no nothing to enter the country. You just enter normal, 100%. That's it. And you may be asking, what are we going to do how are we going to come back to Thailand, right? If we have to get those 2 jabs. Well, the thing is this. We decided that this is a real chance for just to it's kind of like it's a moment. It's obviously it's an end of an era for me. It's as if the continuity of this I don't know how many years have I been here, like 18 years, has to end. Everything I did in the last 18 years in Thailand, as such as it exists even today, needs to die, needs to go away, needs to, to stop existing, stop being, so something new can be born. That's the feeling I've been having for actually many months, but I just didn't want to tell your mommy, because I didn't want to stress her, because I thought things just could be fixed one by one, bit by bit, as they usually are. But it was just not the case. Is everything closing down on us, right? And the other thing is, like, I also came to the point as like, okay, everything has everything I said about the vax is going to be forgotten just because a country is forcing me to do so? Am I going to betray what I know to be true and the position I have taken just because an ignorant government that doesn't care about human rights say so? And the answer is no. No. Even 1 or 2 videos ago, I said that the source of happiness and satisfaction is that your thought, your word, and your action align. That they are one. That you are, just simply you are that congruent person that couldn't do otherwise but to act as they said and they say as they thought. So we decided that we're going to wait it out. How long? Doesn't matter, as long as it's necessary. We just have to wait. And meanwhile, I asked mommy, I told her that I want to live in this place that she told me. I have never been there. She described it to me like 2 weeks ago that we were in the park, and I made a video about that time in the park. She told me, oh, you know what? I found this once I went to this amazing little town, and it's cold, and it's all year cold, and it's super beautiful, and it's full of nature. I'm like, whoa, that's so nice. When she was telling me, I was, ooh, I want to go there. And I told her, can we go to that little town you talked about? It's like, that one? But there's no Starbucks. Good. There's no that nice coffee shops you're accustomed to. Good. There's nothing. I'm like, perfect. So because, I've always had this call for being alone, being in solitude, being away, even insulated from the world. I want to be in a place that I cannot be my old self. And this is so Joe Dispenza. But as I said, I've been listening to him a lot, meditating, using his meditations a lot. And every time I get them more, they click more and more and more and more. And one of the things I just heard him saying, like for the 27th time, is like, you cannot think about a different future if you are always repeating the same. If you're in the same known life or world, it's very difficult. Like if I ask you today to imagine different colors, like, oh, well, it's impossible. Pretty much it's impossible because you are accustomed and you know a set of colors, and it would be almost impossible for you to ever think about another color. Period. So that's why I told mommy, like, I want to be in a place I've never been. I want to be in a kind of place that I've never been. And I've always been from the biggest city of one country to the biggest city of the other country. Every time. It's been Mexico, it was Auckland in New Zealand, it's been Saigon in Vietnam, it's been Bangkok in Thailand, all the time, Sydney in Australia. It's just always been like this, right? So I want to actually be in a place that is natural. I asked mommy to find a place that has a huge green garden area, so you have plenty of space to just be yourself. There's a lot of pine trees. It's cold. We can make fires in the nighttime. I want to see the sky with full of stars. And that I am sure I can develop more this whole new world, right? I don't want to suddenly think, let's go for a coffee. And you take 3 hours. And is that okay? It's okay. But every day you end up doing it, or I end up doing it, or we end up doing it because I don't know, because we have done it before and it feels good, right? We are conditioned. The brain is conditioned to find pleasure in doing things over and over, repeating things because it loves the known. But you know what? I've worked so hard loving the unknown that now that I have this chance, this opportunity, I'm not going to waste it. I'm going to go to this little town where if I want to make good coffee, it will have to be mine and I cannot go and buy it, and if I want to drink, I will have to make it. Mommy will have to make it for me, but because I'm useless for this. But so I decided to go to the one place that is the most isolated, the least amount of people, zero commercial, no touristy at all, far from every other town. I mean, like, it would be I don't know, it's not huge, super far, but I mean, like, quite a few kilometers to the next town, and just be in a place full of mountains and cold and foggy, and then I can really get to meditate, and I really can get to create. This is something that I think is what I have been delaying all my life. I was born to be a creator, but my dad discouraged me at every stage of my childhood, and well, it was a different life. Mexico City, Mexico is not US that you go with your friends and you stay with someone and then you buy an old car and then you live there for a few years or months, or no, I mean, you do that in Mexico and you just get killed or you just die of hunger. There's not such a thing of a very rebellious zone. Maybe today, but back in the day, Mexico was a very conservative place where there were no options other than just shut up and listen to your parents. And, my father was trying to protect me from what? From uncertainty and the unexpected, because the life of creators back then, especially back then, was tough. It was tough. It was not rewarded. Everything was about the, mathematics, physics, hard science, or what makes money, or law, or, the typical, the known, right? Had he known how the world was going to change, and now artists are like the hottest potatoes in town, well, man, he would have allowed me, right? But he didn't have glasses that could see into the future. I just did an interview yesterday, as I said before, right before, for the crypto channel, and I was talking with two artists, and these guys are making money with NFTs, and they are creating art that is historical, that they've done first. Like they've never, no one else had ever done what they did with their NFTs today. So and they're so creative and they're so smart, my God. And they can do the art thing and they can do the tech thing, which is, to me, I was told that was not possible. It was like an assumption that I just balked for no reason. Now I understand that no, you can be both. And maybe, I don't know, that time in Mexico, I may use it to learn how to program. But the point is that these months I'm going to engage in that creative process that I disowned, that I rejected, that I chose not to follow for all my life, right? So that's what I'm expecting to do in Mexico when I'm in this place. Just simply exist, eat my carnivore diet, because thank God eating carnivore in Mexico is delicious because we have so many different meats, and we also have lots of different cheeses, and I eat cheese as a carnivore, and it's delicious, but it's ridiculous how cheap it is. Like, just to, it's at least 60 or 70% cheaper beef in Mexico than in Thailand. You imagine 70-80%. So I mean, like, we definitely can eat very well without breaking the bank like we do here every month, So, and just chill, just meditate, just be there, just exercise, and just create. Like, just sit in front of my computer and just let myself discover new stuff. That's all I need. That's all I want. That's all I have to do. That's what the heart says, right? And if Thailand opens in 3 months, great. If it opens in 6 months, yeah, life. I mean, it doesn't matter. Meanwhile, I'm going to be able to change a lot of legal stuff that has been hanging, and I haven't been able to catch up, legally with the real world. It just happens that, like, it's so easy from the outside to think like, hey, like, how can your life is like this, but your legal life is totally different? Like, well, because, sometimes things just need time, they take time. Legal stuff just takes time. So we need to do a lot of documents. We need to do a lot of things, change a lot of statuses from my side and mommy's side. So everything is perfectly in place. So that's it, buddy. That's the big news. And I'll tell you something. This is something very strange. Since we took the decision of going to Mexico and staying there for a while, you have changed. You are crazy happy. Like, just right now, to put you in bed was difficult. You were bouncing and rolling and jumping and doing and running from one side to the other and doing everything, but like never before. Like a full hour minimum, non-stop. You are exhilarating. I don't know, but you definitely sense something. I mean, honestly, I know, and I've seen it over and over, that you know more than us sometimes. I really noticed that you just sense things that we can't sense. You have access to information we don't have, simply because you haven't been told that whatever information you get and however you get it doesn't exist. One, I mean, believe me, scientists, a lot of you will know. Like when someone is watching, you can tell that someone is watching, and you usually look. Well, scientists deny that. They say it's imagination, because there's no way that your five senses can know that someone is looking at you like from 300 meters or from the back or something. Nevertheless, we know it's true because we feel it, because it's obvious when someone is looking at you, it's like, and you know where exactly to look at look for the eyes, and you find them. So even that, this is stupid scientists deny, right? So imagine when I say that I know that you know stuff like we're going to Mexico. Probably you don't know, but we are traveling, right, so far, and that Mexico is a different country, whatever. But energetically, you definitely know that a change is coming, and and the change has already started. It's that obvious to me. So you are bouncing literally off the walls. You're super cute, and I just asked mommy to please send me some of the things that you have done in the last few days, because I didn't have time to make notes. So just this is what mommy says. One of them, tell him that he doesn't allow me to caress him. What that means, like, even when she is breastfeeding you and she tries to put, sorry, her hand on your body, right, or just on your head or somewhere, you you hit her hand. You don't want to be touched by mommy. But if it's me, you say nothing. And that's what another proof of what I was saying before. How do you know that it's my hand and not mommy's hand? It's not that you're looking at necessarily at where mom is touching you, and honestly, it would be difficult to find to see what hand is that if it's just a palm, right? I mean, you're too young to still be thinking about where the fingers are pointing, or the fingers are pointing that way. Oh, it should be that because that is from the back. That is just a little bit far-fetched if you that logical thinking. But even if you just put just a tiny part of the palm, each of us, we tried. You know who's mommy, and you're like, you don't let her touch you. I mean, yeah. Another thing that mommy just sent, that you stopped eating many days. Why? Because you wanted the last dish mommy did, and you didn't want to try any other dish. And it was just minced meat with some bacon and cheese. But of course, it's very tasty because of the cheese, because of the bacon, right? So you wanted only that one. And instead of eating, what you did, just you threw all the food everywhere in the floor, because we eat in the floor, like, Asians. So yeah, the other day I arrived and literally all minced meat, but it was a different kind of cooking method. It was just like, phew. And you don't eat? You just really don't eat for a couple of days? But I always tell him, it doesn't matter. I mean, he eats so nutritionally dense foods that a couple of days is going to be nothing for him. And he's going to get, he will be hungry enough that he accepts the next food that we offer. And you did. Another one. Tell him that when he leaves, when you leave me, daddy leaves, he gets angry and he doesn't give you a kiss. Yeah, that's true. You get quite upset that I leave every time. Now you're not so sad. You don't cry like the other days, but you do actually get a bit upset, and you try not to show it. It's not evident that it's quite evident, but you don't show it outside, but you just stop looking at my eyes. You don't want to make eye contact. And when I ask you for a kiss, no, you just start throwing toys out of the door, like you, and take all your toys, daddy. Then, well, that's another one. But then, oh my God, it's so cute, buddy, because you got angry. But then a few minutes later, sometimes you cry, but something you do is you go to the door and you put your hands like this, you put your cheek like this. And I told you before that to sleep now, you're very accustomed that I called your ankle, your foot. So you do like this on the door, standing up, obviously, here, and you put your leg up, like you want me to hold it, right? Now you're accustomed. That is kind of the signal that is with you, or that you secure. You make sure that is close to you. So you are just with your leg up, trying to get invisible daddy to hold it, and when you papa, papa, papa. So mommy is almost like crying, right? Yeah, and well, again, when mommy breastfeeds you, if I'm not there, you're still trying to, you put you lift your leg up, right? So daddy takes it, right? And yeah, another one, he says, like, you speak a lot on your own. Yeah, all the time you're all the time. Or also one more that you do. I don't know if, I guess you must have listened to a door opening and closing, and the hinges probably needed some oil, because you do just like a door hinge would do, right? And I was like, it's so cute. Another one that is so cute. Sometimes we go to the terrace here behind the camera, and there's some how do you call it? Reels, right? I mean, like just to handrails, yeah. And there's three of them, right? And all of them have enough space for you to slide the door between, right? But then you turn it, and then there's no space for you to 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 get your head inside, right? So mommy and I were talking, and you're like, I'm like, but you always do that. So it's like nothing. And suddenly I look at you, and you're just like, just like waiting patiently, kind of like just waiting. And I try to, like do this, so you, it's like you can go through both of them, right? And and you don't want to. I'm like, oh, come on, allow me to help you, right? So yeah, and then I did, and you're fine. So yeah, some of all the things that have been happening for the last few days, and yeah, I mean, it's just the beauty of being close to you. And because of all these things are happening, I am spending less time at home the last 2 3 days, and it will probably be like this for the next 10 days until we go to Spain. I think we're going to just empty the room, this apartment, and just leave, because if it takes longer than 3 months, and I'm not going to be paying two rents in two different countries, right, for no reason. So probably we're going to leave this place. So I need to manage all the stuff we have. Thank God we don't have a lot, but we still have a lot. And prepare, right? I need to prepare all my gear, because I'm going to be filming and I'm going to be interviewing people in Spain. And then I have to keep with my crypto project in Mexico, and I want to keep doing this. I will keep doing this. And to be honest, the battery stopped because I use this camera for the crypto stuff as well. So I forgot changing the camera. Anyway, so I was saying like, oh yeah, so I will keep going with all the crypto and these recordings. And I don't know. I have to stay open. I don't know if I can. Whatever I want to create is going to take some. It will have like video as part of the medium or not. I'm just trying to stay as open as I possibly can to make sure that I invite the best to my future. Simple, plain and simple. So that's it, buddy. That's all. And it's wonderful to be your dad. I love you so much. I love our life with mommy. Even you two are crazy. I love it nevertheless. And I'm very excited about what's coming. I mean, it's going to be good. That is the only thing I know. Why? Because the universe, or your higher self, or God, however you want to call it, whoever you think is calling the shots of your life in a eternal kind of way, well, he or you or whoever does it for your best interest. That's a funny thing. Whatever is that we are resisting is actually the best for us. That's the craziest thing. We resist as if that thing which we resist is cancerogenic, is cancer itself. When the truth is, if we would just allow things to happen, then we would be collaborating with the universe. We would be collaborating with everything there is, with God, with destiny, with whatever, however you understand in your mind, right? And when you cooperate with the universe, what do you expect? Well, it can only be the best for you. It's the only thing that brings pain and sorrow is our resistance, our ego, our sense of what we think we are and we should be in time doesn't allow us to flow in the way the whole universe is flowing, because we don't flow alone. Everything is flowing at once. We are a single entity flowing. So I heard something really interesting a few days ago, and it said that God, universe, whatever you call it again, loves the courageous, because it is the courageous people, it's the brave people, it's the dreamers, it's those that have absolute faith, it's those that surrender to how things flow and develop without certainties and guarantees. Those are the ones that the universe can enact the most itself in. God is looking for performers. Pretty much, God is playing all the roles. We all are in God, so when we are in a world with everyone, most people at least living in fear, trying to make sure change doesn't happen, to make sure they are prepared. When you're preparing for the future, all you are expressing is fear. It's very difficult to understand it with a very rational perspective or mind, because it just makes sense that you're safe, right? But I'm not going to quote the Bible because I'm not very Bible-like, and I don't remember exactly the quote, but it says, well, I said I was not going to do it, but okay, I'm not going to do it correctly. But it's like something like, look at the lilies, they do not toil or in something else, and they still like flower or something like that. So if you see the universe, everything is given. Everything is given. You need sun, the sun is there. You need water, the water is there. You need wind, the wind is there. You need whatever it is, you actually are provided. Whatever it is, you are provided. And remember, since you are the one who calls the shots, you, your higher self, or God, but God is within, so it still is your own will expressing God itself. Then then you will be provided exactly what you want, exactly what you need. And it only requires that courage to accept uncertainty, to accept not knowing, to accept that not all is safe and secure, to accept that there's no guarantees, to accept that there's very little you can control in truth. That is the courageous or brave that the universe helps the most, loves the most, does the most for, because as they are allowing it to express itself, then they're chosen by it. If they have like 7 billion people in the world, but 6.9.9 are only holding for dear life, then the universe is not really flowing. And that's why we have wars, that's why we have famines, that's why we have terrible things, because we don't flow. So then the universe has to make us flow, because again, we will arrive where we said we wanted to go. The only difference is how painful it's going to be and how long it's going to take. So this is a simple thing. You want something terrible to stop happening? Flow with it. Accept it. Embrace it. And it will go away, because the moment something is not important, it just fades. It just fades. It's just like right now, let's say Thailand 1.0 for Daddy is fading. It's fading away. Why? Because now I don't care if I'm here or not. But before I did very much. Before I really didn't want to go to Mexico. Before I really didn't want to be in my country. Before I really didn't want to leave Thailand. Before I really didn't want to change anything much in my life. But since I met your mommy, things have changed. And now, lately, a lot more. And now that I don't care whether it's there or not, it's just fading away. And something new is starting. And that's why I'm not also making a lot of plans. Like, I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to write a book, and then 2 comedies and 3 symphonies. Yeah, wait, whatever. Stop. I go there to empty my life because only an empty glass can be filled again with something new. And that's what I've been preparing myself to do, to be an empty jar that is about to get filled with something absolutely new, awesome, exciting, positive, abundant, wonderful. I'm playing with some little ball that I found here. I have no idea what it is. But I want to eat it, but no. I should. It looks like fish food, but we don't have fish, so better be careful. Anyway, son, it's a pleasure to be with you. You are so cute and you're so loving. I must say that every day you're more loving. Every day. I can't stop thanking God for you and mommy. So thank God. And God bless you. May Jesus protect you and love you. And that's it. I love you, my beautiful son. Have a beautiful day. And we're only a few days ago before you meet your second country. Well, actually your first country, because Thailand doesn't recognize you as anything. And that's ugly. That's actually very racist and very nasty. But hey, it is what it is. And let's see where the world takes us next. I love you. Have a beautiful day.